Hello and welcome to this episode of the Mixtape podcast. This is where we take a deep dive into the inspirations and influences of my guest as I ask them to select 6 tracks for their imaginary mixtape. Track 1 is an attention grabber. Track 2 is a song they sing in the car or the shower. Track 3 is a cover version. For track 4, I'll ask them to pick a song they wish they could have played to their 18-year-old selves. Track 5 is a song they would use to woo someone. Track 6 is a track that my guest feels doesn't get the attention or recognition that it deserves. If you'd like to support the creation of this podcast, it's patreon.com/mixtape podcast, or you can check out the link in the description below. You can join for free or subscribe for as little as $2 a month. There's lots of other Patreon-only content on there, including the opportunity to ask guests a question and to have a personalised mixtape playlist curated by yours truly. There's lots of other ways you can support me, a like or a follow on social media. Again, there's links in the description for that. Or if you are listening on Spotify, you can smash the follow icon or you can rate the podcast. All of these little things go a long way towards growing the platform, and I really, really appreciate it. Thanks so much for listening, and I hope you enjoy this episode. Hello and welcome to this mixtape for KCR 102.5 FM and the mixtapepodcast.com. Joining me today, it's Jackson from the Elevators. How are you, mate?
Doing great. How are you?
Fantastic, mate. Thanks for coming on the show and making the time. Really, really appreciate it. So you're coming to Australia and New Zealand playing in Perth. You're playing the Freo Social on the 15th of November, 17th of November, the Rosemount Hotel in North Perth, supporting the original Wailers, mate. Is that the first time you've toured with them?
It is, and I can't believe it's going to be in Australia. We're so excited.
Do you know them at all?
I have never met any of them, I don't think.
Okay, I've had the absolute pleasure of interviewing Al on the show before the last time they toured Australia. Man, what a guy. Yeah, you're gonna have such a good time. Some of the, obviously being a whaler, it was the easiest interview I've ever done because he just told me his story for like 30 minutes. It was fantastic. Yeah, brilliant. I'm sure he's going to be an amazing sort of person to tour with in terms of, mentoring and, that kind of thing. You're going to have a great time. Is this your first time in Australia as a band, or have you been as a sort of tourist before?
No, this is our first time as a band, and I don't think any of the band members have ever been there either, except for our manager lead. He's been there before.
Okay, right. Are you going to be looking at your schedule? There's a few sort of off days here and there. You're going to be making some time. How do you sort of like to go on tour? You like to get out and see the sights?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. On days we're not playing, I want to try and see as much as I can.
I was doing a little bit of research because I'm a professional, or at least that's what I try and look like. I was doing a little bit of research and I saw that you have produced your own beer and wine in the past. You're going to be loving it over here, mate, because beer and wine is what we're all about. Yeah, there's so many fantastic microbreweries and wineries and stuff like that, especially in Perth. To get out and about and see if that's your bag, mate, you're going to have a great time. What sort of prompted you to do that? Was that just like a sort of a promo tie-in, or was that brewing and was that something you're interested in?
It's just through connections. The first one was a beer with my good friend Dino. He owns a brewery over here called Vitamin C Brewing, and he loved our music. I loved his beer. And so we said, hey, let's do some beer together. So we actually have our 8th beer out with them right now. It's called The Squeeze, kind of like a Mexican lager, a little bit more crushable than some of the double IPAs. And then, I met my other friend, Tommy Booth, up in Paso Robles. And he had done a wine with a band called Revolution and then a band called Pepper. And we got to talking and became buddies. And he said, hey, why don't we do a wine together? So he sent me tons and tons of bottles of samples, and we crafted a cab. It's called Criminal Cab. Actually won some awards here in the States. Yeah. And then we have a sparkling rosé. So all just fun stuff to do on the side.
That's fantastic. Do you bring any of that like on tour, like merch-wise? I don't imagine it's that practical for you to do that.
I mean, they'll send us some beers for the road. They'll send us some wine for the road.
Right, okay, cool. Awesome. Okay, let's talk about Endless Summer, Jackson. That's your latest record.
Tell us a little bit about sort of the recording and what were some of your songwriting inspirations behind that album, mate?
So yeah, we recorded that at a legendary studio called Sonic Ranch down in Texas. Man, what an amazing time that was. A lot of great albums have been made there. It's on 5,000 acres of pecan farms. Just really beautiful, kind of out in the middle of nowhere. But so we kind of just went into our little Zen bubble and recorded these songs. We had made a bunch of demos, just songs we thought would be fun. Some songs that weren't traditional reggae, branching out a little bit into different genres, but still kind of fit our mold and not trying to be any one thing. Let's just go and write some great songs and go record them was kind of the idea behind it.
The album artwork as well, I wanted to talk to you about, because I always like to talk to bands about I think in this day and age, like the visual side of things is like getting more and more important. Who does your album artwork? Because that like, if anyone, for anyone who's listening, future, it's the day after Halloween, and the album cover for that is like bang on point for Halloween. I absolutely loved it. I can't wait to grab a t-shirt. Hopefully you'll bring some down on tour. Who does
Absolutely.
your album artwork, mate?
We used a bunch of different artists. This was a girl named Liana. She is from Hawaii, and basically we just found her on Instagram and we loved her style. Kind of sent her a cold call message, asked her if she'd be down to do some album artwork and kind of just help us build the whole lifestyling around the body of work. And she was down. We actually got to meet her in Portland, Oregon. Bend, Oregon. She came out to one of the shows. She's a super sweetheart and was always putting out killer stuff.
Awesome. And just, I'll probably drop this in at the start of the chat because I meant to ask this at the beginning, but so coming from Massachusetts and around the sort of Boston area and the Boston music scene, it's not sort of known for sort of reggae and, that sort of scene. So, like, how was it coming up in that scene? And did you find it easy to get gigs? And was there a bit of a scene there, that sort of underground, or how did that go?
There actually is a scene here. I grew up listening to reggae through my stepdad. He played reggae all the time. My mom was always playing music. And it's kind of what all of our towns in the South Shore of Boston were listening to. There are some bands from here. There's a band called The Best, John Brown's Body. A lot of them were from Boston or New York. Stick Figure, we're actually from the same town. He's from here. So yeah, there's like kind of an underground, people don't ever really expect it, but there is a great underground music scene. Between New York and Boston, there's some great music schools. So obviously tons of amazing players all over the place. Very lucky.
I'm sure you'll get to have the conversation, but that's where Al from the original Wailers sort of started his career selling guitars in Boston. Yeah. He used to sell guitars to like Aerosmith and Fleetwood Mac and like touring bands like back in the day. And yeah, it's a long story. I'm sure he'll fill you in on it, but yeah, that's where he started as well.
I can't wait.
Yeah. All right. Let's talk about your mixtape track choices, Jackson. So whenever I kick off the radio show or I make up a playlist for someone, or like back in the day, make up a tape or later on burn a CD, I always sort of kick it off with like a track one attention grabber, mate. So if you were making up a mixtape, what would be your track one attention grabber?
So I chose this one because I was a fan of the band before, but when this song dropped, hadn't really heard anything like it, and it's just still one of my favorite reggae songs. It's Slings and Arrows by Fat Freeze Drop.
Ah, great choice, mate. Classic track. What is it?
It starts with that Nintendo sound kind of in the beginning, and then the drums are horns come in. It's just like the minute that hit, I was like, what in the hell? Complete neck breaker on that song. It was super cool.
Fantastic choice, mate. Never always looking for excuses to play a bit of Fat Freddy's Drop on the show. Love that track. What I do on the show, Jackson, on the radio show, I'll be dropping the tracks in between as we're sort of talking about them. If you're listening on the YouTube channel or the podcast, there will be a link in the description to a playlist, a Spotify playlist of all Jackson's track choices, some tracks from the Elevators as well, and there'll also be links for tickets for the shows and the Elevators website and socials and all that other good stuff, if you want to drop down in the description. All right, track 2, Jackson, is what's a song that you sing when you're on your own in the car or the shower, mate?
So I chose Georgia on My Mind by Ray Charles. I just think that's one of the most gorgeous songs. It's been one of my
Yeah.
favorites since I was a kid. I was actually originally born in Georgia, and it's just so hauntingly beautiful. Every time that song comes on, it brings me to a very happy place every time.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that is a fantastic track. Whenever this is probably a cultural reference that will be completely lost on you because you're probably way too young to remember, but that always reminds me of a scene from a sci-fi show called Quantum Leap, where they played that track. But yeah, I think it's one of those, what would you call it? Timeless classic. Like, it's just, unreal. Superb love song, and yeah, great choice for your track too, mate. Track
Thank you.
3, Jackson, is pick your favourite cover version, mate. What did you pick for that?
So I had to go with UB40's Red Red Wine because originally Neil Diamond wrote that song. And,
Sure. That's one of my favourite sort of fun musical facts, that that's a cover version, because not many people know that's a cover version. Yeah, great choice, mate. Yeah, sorry, go on, carry on.
yeah, no, that's just, I mean, that's one of the most epic cover songs of all time. No one even really knew.
Yeah, and obviously with being a reggae band, putting your own spin on a cover version is, for me, sort of one of the prerequisites of doing a good cover is not just copying the original. And yeah, they've really taken that and made that their own. Fantastic choice. And I think when people don't realise it's a cover, that's also a great sign of a good cover version as well. Track 4, Jackson, is pick a song that you wish you could play to your 18-year-old self.
So I chose Dangerous by Highly Supreme. I'm not sure if you're a fan of his.
Not familiar, no.
Oh, man. You got to check it. If you love Slings and Arrows, you're going to love this song.
Okay,
It's got such an impressive flow and melody to it. And I just know I would have been blown away at 18 years old. I probably would have been playing it more than I already play it now.
Okay, sure. Yeah, we'll get that one on. One of the things I love most about the show is being introduced to good music. It's sort of one of the reasons why I came up with a format, just for me personally, to get introduced to new music. What sort of stuff were you listening to when you were 18, Jackson? What was your early influences?
I was listening to a lot of Bob Marley still, Slightly Stupid, Dispatch, Ray LaMontagne. I was in a big
Ray
like, old
LaMontagne.
soul. Yeah.
How good is he,
Right.
man? Oh, so good.
It's just his albums are just beautiful. It's haunting. Old Nat King Cole. Yeah. That was kind of stuff I was listening to back then.
I'm a massive Ray LaMontagne fan. I've seen him live. I've lived in Australia for 15 years now, and I haven't seen him since I've been living here, but I saw him 3 or 4 times in the UK. I've seen him in a church in North London with about 500 people.
gosh.
It was amazing. It was one of the best gigs I've ever been to. Like, I've been to like 120,000, sort of festival shows, and, I've seen, The Who, I've seen Pink Floyd, on that sort of scale, but seeing him in that like intimate setting like that was just unbelievable.
Yeah. Unforgettable, I bet.
Oh, so good, so good. Yeah, come on, Ray, get yourself over to Australia, mate, because it's been a minute, mate. So yeah, hurry up. Okay, where were we? Track 5, Jackson. If you were making up a mixtape and you wanted to let the listener know that you're sort of romantically sort of interested, what would be a track you would use for that, mate?
I'd probably use a song by Tribal Steve. Those are some of my favorite people, good friends of ours, and their song Moonlight.
Moonlight.
I think it's a very romantic song. Beautiful.
Okay, cool. Have you ever used a mixtape or a playlist like in that way, or has anyone ever tried to use one on you? Has it worked for you?
Not really, no. I can't say it's been the go-to, but
It's a generational thing. I think it's a bit of a lost art now. I don't think it gets done as much as it used. When I speak to people who are like sort of my age and older, that's quite often I go, yeah, but like with younger people, it just doesn't happen anymore. That's not how they roll anymore. Doesn't happen.
right.
And finally, Jackson, the last track of your mixtape is pick something that you feel doesn't get the recognition or appreciation that you think it deserves, mate.
Yeah, so I'm always surprised that people don't remember that John Legend and the Roots created an album together, and
Okay.
they have a reggae song. They have a reggae song on it, and it's called Humanity, and it's just complete banger. And I love when people haven't heard it, and I get to play it for them, and I kind of get to experience the song for the first time with them.
Yeah. What's the name of that album?
Oh man, I don't know the name of the album. There's only one of them. So if you look up
Right,
John
okay.
Legend and the Roots, it's
Yeah.
one whole album. But
Yeah.
the reggae song on that album is called Humanity.
Right. Okay. Yeah. I recently saw the documentary / concert film that, what's his name? The drummer from The Roots. I've forgotten his name now.
Oh, Questlove.
Questlove. Yeah, sorry. Yeah. He made a documentary about a festival that happened in New York called, I can't remember now, but the movie's called Summer of Soul.
Oh,
If you
cool.
get the chance, it was like at around the same time as Woodstock. And I think it was like he found the footage in a storage facility somewhere that had been lost for like 40 years or something, and he created this documentary. I think he won an Oscar or something, or some sort of award for it. And it's amazing. He got like Nina Simone, Stevie Wonder, B.B. King, anyone who's anyone in the sort of late 60s sort of soul and blues scene. Etta James, some incredible artists. Yeah, Summer of Soul was cool. It's well worth a watch if you get a chance. Just finally to round out the chat, Jackson, future plans for the Elevators. What have you got coming up after the Australian tour and sort of, early 2025? What you got going on there, mate?
So after Australia, we go to New Zealand. Then we go to the West Coast for a bunch of headline shows. We go from the West Coast to Mexico for a festival called Closer to Sun, put on by Slightly Stupid. Then we go home for Christmas and start up our winter tour. And then we're taking a little bit of a downtime break. But in that downtime break, we're going to be recording a new album. Potentially going to record it in Iceland. That's not too far from us. We found a cool studio over there. So
Iceland,
really excited.
wow.
Yeah. Yeah, just, it's all about experience. And if I can be stepping out in Iceland every morning with my boys, I'm sure that'll be inspired to get in the studio,
Fantastic. Just make sure you take a beanie and a jacket, mate, because it'll be cold up there for sure. Yeah.
Well, we're from Boston. We got a couple of those.
That's right. Yeah, no, you're used to it. You're used to it, mate. It's going to be about 100 degrees today in Perth. So yeah, you won't need any of that when you get over here, mate. We're just coming into late spring, early summer. So yeah, it's just fantastic at the moment. Jackson, safe travels down under, mate. Really looking forward to the show. I think I'll be at the 30 Social show. So hopefully I'll catch you there, mate. Have a great time, and thanks for coming on the show, mate. Really appreciate it.
Thanks. Looking forward to meeting you. Make sure you come back and say what up to us.
Yeah, I will do, mate. Cheers. Thanks, Jackson. Have a good one, mate.
Cheers.
See you later. Bye.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you so much for listening to the Mixtape podcast. All the links that you will need are in the description below. Link to my Patreon, my guest website and social media, my social media, and the link to the Mixtape Tracks playlist as chosen by today's guest. Thanks so much for listening. Until next time.